Darren Rovell from the Action Network here at Jay Croucher, the director of trading for PointsBet. A lot of big spreads this week. We have Tampa Bay Jets, we have Jags New England, we have Atlanta Buffalo, and we have San Francisco Houston. Of all of those, what is the most intriguing thing you see?
Yes, I think the most intriguing one is Houston, San Francisco, just because of the quarterback movement there. We suspect Jimmy Garoppolo will not be able to play with his thumb. And so the line has dropped from 15 to now San Francisco minus 12.5 with the expectation that Trey Lance will start. Bettors have actually jumped behind Houston after their impressive win over the Chargers. Bit of uncertainty around Lance. He looked great in his first start. Just don't know what we're going to get out of him. And the Niners didn't look good against Tennessee either on Thursday night last week. So for a change, as the book, we get to root for a double-digit favorite to cover.
Okay, then we're looking at the games that are intriguing as far as teams that actually win. Arizona, Dallas is an interesting one. Kansas City, Cincinnati is a good one. Of those two, what is the most intriguing thing that you see?
So I think Arizona, Dallas is the most interesting one, where we need to get a handle on whether this Arizona team is just bad, because that's what they've looked like for the past 3 weeks, or whether they can salvage their season. There's still a chance to win their division. Meanwhile, Dallas is surging, but they're surging against teams like Washington and the Giants. They look like this absolute juggernaut. Dak Prescott found himself on Sunday night against Washington, but is that real, or were they going up against half a football team? So I think that we'll learn a lot about these two teams. Bettors certainly believe in Dallas. A lot of people got burned by the Cardinals on Christmas with losing outright and failing to cover against the Colts. So everyone believes in Dallas, but I think we'll learn a lot more about both these teams this week.
Two totals this week, over 50. Unders have been about 55% this year. How are people feeling about rooting for the over in general, given that, the unders have done well this year, although last week I think the overs did well?
Yeah, so people are starting to target unders more and more, particularly in games started by the likes of Ian Book or Jake Fromm, these types, where people are believing in unders there. But still, we are seeing in the marquee games a lot more over money still, with Kansas City, Cincinnati, after Joe Burrow throws for over 500 yards and Patrick Mahomes also starting to look a bit like Patrick Mahomes again. That's one of the biggest totals, and people are backing over there. Rams, Ravens as well. I don't think anyone wants to take an under in a Ravens game at the moment with how banged up their secondary is. So in the marquee matchups, still getting over money.
And then is there a game this week that people are, at least it's early, but are staying away from?
So I think probably some of the lesser games that, don't have as big as spreads, but just aren't as marquee. So Tennessee, Miami, not too much activity there. Our highest handle game at the moment is Indianapolis, Las Vegas, where I would have thought that more people would be staying away with just the uncertainty around the Indianapolis situation. But people jumped all over that game, particularly a couple of days ago when Wentz was ruled out. It looked like it was going to be Sam Ehlinger. NFL adopts the new CDC guidelines. Looks like Wentz is back, but will he actually be back? So a lot of uncertainty there, but bettors think they have an edge. Not particularly one way or the other, because it's split down the middle in terms of our handle on each side. But people definitely have strong opinions about this game going both ways.
Last week, we asked people about COVID, and most people said they either stayed away or they were betting later. Here, it seems like it's a little bit different, because only 6% of people told us that they thought they had an edge in the COVID games. Now people say, oh, wait, we now go from 10 to 5. Oh, Carson Wentz is now going to play, but the market hasn't completely said that, but I think I have an edge. That's how it's working here, right?
Definitely. So when the line dropped, there was a lot of action both ways when it got down to Colts minus 1.5, where I think half people think that, well, Indianapolis, their quarterback situation doesn't really matter that much because they've got Jonathan Taylor and they're just going to run the ball. And then the other half of people are thinking it's Sam Ehlinger, who might be the worst quarterback in the NFL, going up against the Raiders team that has won 2 in a row. Derek Carr is not the most inspiring quarterback in the world, but he's a lot better than Sam Ehlinger. And so a lot of strong opinions, both sides. People weren't too turned away by the uncertainty. And now that we're starting to get a little bit more certainty that, we think that Wentz will be back, we're starting to see a little bit more money come in on the Colts at minus 6.5, where it is now.
Jay Croucher, the director of trading for PointsBet. Thanks for taking us inside the book for another week.
Thanks, Darren.
Make sure you check out all of PointsBet's promotions, including this one for Sunday Night Football.